says preparing to live stream the meeting, which probably means we're already live and I just don't know it.
Could be, could be.
Setting up for your YouTube live. All
Very
right.
cool. Very cool.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Monster Talk Live Halloween 2025. My name is Matthew Baxter.
I'm Blake Smith. This is Lucy.
Oh, turned Blake into a cat person finally. And I'm
Meow.
Karen Stolzno. Nice to be here and catch up. And it's been a while, hasn't it,
It has been a minute.
since we've done a live episode like this.
Yes.
But yeah, this is I think one of our favorite times of the year. Not only Halloween, but also just doing this show. So we always vow to do more of them. But anyway, here we are. And we kind of had lots of different ideas, didn't we, about what we were going to talk about tonight, whether we,
Yeah.
there's so many ideas, but we thought, let's talk about some investigations that we've done this year and what this year's been like, because this has been a tricky year, I think, for many people and us included. But it's
Yes.
been full of ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties, I think, for all of us. And so we've managed to get in some research and investigation. So in that regard, it's been a good year. And
It's been a tricky
so,
year, but we're owed some treats, I think.
oh yes, cheers. Definitely some treats for Halloween and the rest of the year. But I thought I'd start the conversation off and talk a little bit about the one aspect of the trip that we did to the UK this year. So we went to England, we went to Scotland, we didn't get to Wales, didn't get to Ireland this time, but we got to see a lot of places on our bucket lists, which was very exciting. And something that I insisted, or a place that I insisted we go to was, of course, Borley Rectory, one of my absolute favorite places on earth. And it was just wonderful to be able to go there to check out the grounds. Now, of course, there is no more Borley Rectory. It burned down back in the 1930s, 1939. However, people are still going there. It is a place of great legend tripping, isn't it, Matt?
It really is. The place is so cool. And yeah, we'll totally get into that a
Yeah.
little bit later.
So,
Morley is no Morley. That's got it.
yeah. Exactly. So it does not look like that anymore, but that is what it looked like when the place was built in the 1860s, and it was replacing another rectory that had been burned down also. So that should have really warned them. Now, originally, I thought maybe this picture was from the 1920s or a bit earlier than that, but it turns out this is from the house during the 1890s. So this is during the incumbency of the Bull family. So there were two Bull families, a Henry and a Harry. So this is the elder Bull. What is it? Dawson Ellis. I know he's got 20 names like Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the place was quite opulent inside. We didn't see anything like this, obviously, but we will go into what we saw. So we went to the location. Now, where I'd first found out about Borley Rectory is, as a lot of our listeners will know, is through the Usborne or Osborne, Usborne books that we always rave about. And I have done a couple of shows on the UFO book, the Ghosts book. So this is where I found out about it, the most haunted house in the world. And you've got the great stories there, like the nun and Nun's Walk that she'd appear on supposedly, and the headless coachman with the horses, and the writing on the wall. So we've got a lot of the phenomena here. And so again, I think a lot of listeners are going to be familiar with this story and with that wonderful artwork. So this is, I believe, Henry Bull. He died of syphilis and had 14 kids. Let's just say that.
And a lot of illegitimate children.
Well, yeah,
Well,
and I don't know if those were encompassed in the 14 kids or if that was beyond that, but I don't know, maybe not a terribly good rector. I don't know. I'm sure there's a
Or
pun there.
Seems like a
typical.
pretty good erector, though. Yep.
Exactly. There we go. You did not let us down. So this is a so this was the next rector who took over after the two bull incumbencies. So this is the Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his lovely wife here, Mabel. So I think we have them to thank really for the stories going global and becoming as famous as they are today, because they're the ones who called in the Society for Psychical Research. And they claim, so I don't know if I should be telling the folklore. Oh, Matt, you jumped ahead. I don't know if
Yep.
I should be telling the folklore or if I should be telling the skeptical truths behind everything. But basically,
Let's get to it. Let's start
well,
off, I think, with the folklore, um, and then we'll get more into it. But uh,
okay, well,
it's
Mabel was scared of the place and all of the activity there. The usual stuff, rapping sounds, footsteps, perfumes and strange smells that they could that just wafted throughout the rectory, especially at night. There were writings, weird writings that would appear on the wall. Bells would ring, windows would smash and open, doors would open and shut of their own avail. So all that kind of stuff. Matt, I'm probably forgetting some things here.
People would
oh,
sense nuns.
Yes,
Well, there was a lot
yes.
of nonsense, is what I'm saying.
Nuns.
yes,
Yeah. So, well, one of the
yes.
bulls actually had built, they called it a garden house, but I think it was more of a kind of like a gazebo. But so some stories say that he was petrified of the ghost, and others say that he loved watching the ghost. And so he built this little summer house so he could sit there with a cigar and a glass of brandy and wait for her appearance.
And
So,
others say
anyway,
his name was Bull.
yeah, bull something.
Uh, well,
uh,
this picture here, this is Harry Price. The reason I put this picture up first is because he is here debunking slates, psychic slates, where the psychic would have this, these two slates that had nothing on them, and then would wrap them together, and then when they open them back up, there would be these chalk drawings all over. He's debunking that right there, and the reason I show that is because it's not very well known that he and Harry Houdini were friends. And they would often talk about the debunkings that they had carried out and things like that. But
mhm.
they did have a falling out. And that's basically because, well, this is all
Well,
his ghost hunting equipment. I'll
Yeah.
just leave it at
Well,
that.
yeah. So I think he's an early forerunner of ghost adventures and ghost hunters and everything that we have today because he had a ghost
100% agree.
hunting.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a ghost hunting kit and he used all kinds of interesting things that aren't used today. I mean, well, people use Geiger counters, right? But I mean, he was hardcore. He was using mercury. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
obviously
He used it
photography.
like a snake handler would handle a snake. It's like if you can hold this mercury and drink a little and not get sick, well then you've
Well, and he also
God
he
That's
is
did
not
that.
smiling
true.
on you. That's not
He
not
did
true at
that.
all. That's not what he did.
Yeah, no, he did have that, like his ghost hunting like guidelines for, you know, bring a
Yes,
meal, bring a drink, that
yeah,
it was
we'll show
We'll
that
get
shortly.
well,
We've got a
yeah.
yeah,
copy of
cool.
the book.
Yeah. I
But
loved it.
yeah,
So
so
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I don't know where
This
I
is
was,
a
but
conversation. We're just having fun
yeah,
here tonight.
Yeah,
yeah.
for real. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we all know this story, and I'm sure most of our listeners know the story too. But we're just wanting to chat a bit about what we saw when we were there, and give
Yeah.
some background story too. But yeah, he was a early ghost hunter, and I think that's what destroyed his relationship with Harry Houdini. That he went to the dark side. He took the right hand path and started getting into ghost hunting and using all of these gadgets. And so he's a really strange one because he had this skeptical side and then he had this believer side. And he really did lots of different investigations. And we've talked about Jeff the Talking Mongoose. He did the Battersea poltergeist. And I don't think we've actually had an episode on that topic. And I think that we
No, we
should
should though. We
we
should.
should
Yeah.
treat that. But he really undertook dozens of investigations. But he became the most famous for Borley Rectory after he pronounced the place the most haunted house or haunted home in England. So what's our next slide?
I wish for anything that somehow we could have like some magical world where he and Aleister Crowley had Twitter, because they both would have been so amazing on social media.
I'd be
Oh
following
yeah.
them for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So here is a picture of Harry Price with the next family, the next incumbency, and that was Reverend Lionel Foyster and his wife Marianne. So this is where things get really interesting. There's a lot more activity, a lot of poltergeist activity, a lot of writings on the wall, a lot of very violent activity too, where Marianne is thrown from her bed, and the little girl that we can see here, I believe it is the one on the right, is Adelaide. And they adopted a lot of kids, very involved in orphanages through there. I think it was, gosh, I can't think of it right now, what their branch of Christianity was, Anglican, I think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the activity really ramped up during this time. And Price only visited, I think, twice during the Foyster incumbency, yet this was really at the peak of everything that was taking place there. And just so many reports. And yeah, so the family were very. Well, here is another picture of Reverend Foyster. And this is, I believe, with Adelaide too. And I just can't quite see her face here. Matt thought she looked a bit like a werewolf, but it looks like one of those pictures where you can't tell if it's a girl or a demon or yeah, it's a strange optical illusion going on there. But yeah, the Reverend Foyster, he was decades older than Marianne and quite infirm by this point already, and was really only in his incumbency for a couple of years. I think we've got a picture of Marianne herself here. And so, yes, lots of stories about her being branded as a hysterical type, as they used to say in the day. But she just, I think, had a very magnetic personality, seemed to attract a lot of men, a lot of interest. But she didn't really make friends with a lot of the locals. She's a really interesting character. And we could say a lot more about her, but I will be writing about this, or have written about this topic, where I go into a lot more detail about her background. A lot has come out in recent decades.
Speaking of writing.
Yes, yeah. So this creeped me out as a kid. And Blake, I'm sure this was one of those early stories for you too, where you saw this spirit handwriting, automatic writing, and it was just really creepy to me, and just the nature of what's being said to you, asking for prayers and lights and mass. I thought it was so creepy. And Marianne is the one who is writing in the clearer form there. I cannot understand, tell me more. So she was trying to hold a conversation with this spirit, I guess, in a kind of Ouija board like thing, really communicating with them. But yeah, I just love this particular aspect of the story. So, Matt, you want to talk about this one a little bit?
No. This is a picture of a ghost.
Well,
So
this
I'll
is the
leave it up to
nun.
you to find the ghost in this picture.
This is the nun. And so, yeah,
See, because this could be the nun here,
I
or
think
this could be
so.
the nun
Or
over
that could be the
here,
nun. Yeah.
or there's none
Hmm.
here. I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's very,
And I don't know
it's a
what
very
those are.
typical, it's a ghost shot. I don't know. They're either headstones or buckets or bales of hay. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know. When you drive through the countryside, you see a lot of the bales of hay, and it looks like a constable painting. But I don't know. I wonder if it could be that beekeeping. I'm just not quite
Roblox.
sure. Roblox there. That's what our son would say too. But this
Yeah.
is supposed to be the nun. So she's the most famous ghost there. And what I thought was really interesting is digging back into the history of the claims. She was initially called the Blue Nun. So in more recent times, she's just the nun of Borley Rectory, or she's even the Grey Nun. But in the earliest days, she was reported as being the Blue Nun for her habit. And then you've got that theory of ghosts as well, that they are replicas, or they're constantly like a videotape that's replaying, and
Residual
so
haunting.
they lose color over time. So maybe she was blue and then she became kind of gray over the years. Sad gray nun. Makes me think of
It's
that sad beige mum
only
on
so many
social
people are going
media.
to get that one. Yeah. Um,
Well, more than you think. There are more of us than you think.
Well,
But
I want to throw a
here's the
random
book.
cryptid thing in there's
Yeah.
recently been blue dogs spotted at Chernobyl, and of course the Daily Mail was running stories about is this radiation or whatever, and it turns out they apparently were rolling around in toilet water from a porta potty that had disintegrated. So uh,
Wow. Look for natural
it's more of
explanations
a
first.
cryptid, I guess. What?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. But here
Ooh,
is the book. So
ouch.
it's known informally as the Blue Book. So the alleged haunting at the
The
rectory. It makes it look like it's a rude word.
Bitch rectory.
does.
All the stuff I've been reading on censored language. But I mean, this book is very interesting. It's really a work in priming. So, Matt, you had a good read of it recently. You want to talk about some of the information and suggestions in there?
Well, and I think that the reason Borley is blanked out there is because he didn't want it to fall into anyone else's hands and have them know where they're talking about, because no one would ever figure that out. So anyway, I did look through this, and the first part of the book is uh, kind of, I don't want to say scientific, but it's more kind of a logical approach to doing some sort of an investigation
Right.
and
Systematized.
research. So
Mm,
yeah, so like number two, this is really important. I think we would all follow this if we were doing this. Each observer should provide himself or herself with the following articles, in addition to night clothes, etc., a notebook, pencils, good watch with a second hand,
yeah.
candle and matches, pocket electric torch, a brandy flask,
Well, mhm.
sandwiches, etc. So yes,
Very
I think
sensible advice.
yes, exactly. And yes, we'll all head out to Beavis Rectory, I'm seeing in the chat. So
A spot of brandy. A spot of brandy.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Brandy
Uh,
Rectory. But yeah, it's he gets down a little ways and he starts the priming. Says possible phenomena may be experienced. There is some evidence for all of these alleged manifestations during the past 40 years. So it's interesting that he said that there's evidence, but it's alleged. And then here they are, bell ringing. And then he has a big description, movement of objects, and a big explanation, footsteps, forms or apparitions, raps or knocks, perfumes, light supports, disappearances, thermal variations. So he goes on and really primes, the reader for what they're going to experience. And I think it's interesting because he says it's good if you have scientific knowledge and all this kind of stuff. Uh, and then he gets a bunch of students. So people
mm,
that are going to be easily influenced, basically,
well,
to come and
mhm.
do the
Yeah, well, he advertised in a newspaper, I think it was the Daily Mail, looking for investigators to, men of leisure. I didn't believe that there were any women investigators at all, but people to accompany him. And I think he had about 200 people who applied. So many, many people who were very willing to get involved. And I think out of 200, was it around 40 people,
hmm
I think, that he chose. And so
Yeah.
this was for a year-long investigation. So he took out a lease on Borley Rectory from the Queen Anne's bounty, and yeah, undertook this investigation. But yeah, as Matt's saying, uh, makes me think of going to a Bob Larson show where he gets you to watch this 10-minute video beforehand and talks about the kinds of things that you're going to feel and think and experience. And so it's totally priming people for what they're about to experience. And there's more to that as well, which I guess we'll get into very soon
Yeah.
now.
A viewer by the name of, I believe that's Kathleen Smith. I'm not sure.
Smythe.
Um, Smythe says, makes me think of Prince of Darkness. And you're totally spot on with that. I totally agree. And it's a
Miles.
movie.
Miles Davis.
No, that's Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm so
Oh.
pleased. Maybe the best thing of 2025 besides my kitten is we finally got to do some serious horror movie watching for October. We've really had a great time with that. It's been really great. So I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Well, us
Prince
too,
of Darkness
for
has that same kind of idea, but it's interesting because another movie that the three of us are watching right now has that idea as well, and we'll talk more about that soon.
Yes, we
yeah.
will.
So
Yes.
we have Harry Price's book here. Okay, so I thought there was a different slide coming next. So this is the
Surprise.
next owner of Borley Rectory, and so this is a captain. He fashioned himself as a captain anyway, Gregson,
I
and
love
so
that
he
mantelpiece. Wow.
yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, stunning. I've seen a couple of pictures of the interior of the place in the latter years, and it was very dilapidated, but still very magnificent and beautiful in its heyday for sure. So he bought the place, and he was going to turn it into a bit of a Winchester Mystery House kind of thing. He was going to turn it into an attraction and run ghost tours and history tours there. So it's interesting because when I think about that kind of thing, I think of modern places that do that, but here it is going back to the early, not earlier 1900s anyway. But that was really around the time that the Brown family opened the Winchester Mystery House. So I think that this was the done thing then. So he wanted to do that, but very sadly, the place went up in flames, and people say that there were ghosts and various spooky creatures that were witnessing the place burn down. So it was almost like
Anyway,
they
this
were
episode
the
is a
spirits
fundraiser for
escaping.
the Fund for Temporarily Unhoused Ghosts. We're gonna
Please
Just
donate generously.
open
Donate
those
generously.
wallets. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very sad to see the place like this. Of course, it got a lot worse from here, but this is the shell of the place, the facade after the fire.
They
So
missed it.
no
They
one
missed
was.
it. They could have sold those by the brick. I mean, can you imagine how many people today would be happy to pay for a brick from Borley?
Oh,
Wow.
a Borley brick,
Sure,
absolutely.
sure.
So,
But there's a problem with the bricks that we'll get into as well.
Hmm.
indeed, yeah, they're spooky bricks. But this is Harry Price's book, so The Most Haunted House in England. This was a bestseller of its time. You can still actually get it on Amazon, and I wonder if the copyright might be over now because I've seen
It's
a
pretty
number of different
close.
copies. So I
Yeah.
think other people are printing their own copies of this. But he wrote this. It came out, I think, about 1940, and yeah, it was a
I
big
have my own
hit.
copy. But
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
There are quite a few floating around now, but I think that's a great cover as well. So he ended up
me
writing
too.
two books. Another book was The End of Borley, and he was working on a third one. So I don't know.
Don't
I
worry,
don't
Blake. No
know.
one can see it.
See, what happened was I put the Borley Rectory book down, and then Lucy wanted to come sit on it. So, that's a
Oh,
perfect library cat. You put a book down, she comes to sit on it. That's
there we go.
classic. Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, he was working on a third book. So I don't know after the end of Borley what you could write, but you know how these things are with sequels. Yeah, the book is a classic book, no matter what you think of it. So where are we going to from here? What have we got next?
Well, we're going to say
Yeah.
his assistant came out with like an anti-Harry Price book. What was it, like 12 years later? It's like really,
Oh,
yeah.
you are
I know-
jumping
jumping
the
ahead,
gun.
my friend.
Oh, sorry.
No
We
worries.
all
So
know some of this material. It's very exciting. So
we do, and the story, is not linear. It is really zigzag and back and
I love
forth.
this
And
photo.
so
Yeah.
I love this picture as well. So here he is allegedly in the tunnel where the nun of Nuns Walk was having an illicit affair and hooking up with this monk from a nearby Benedictine I can't
Monastery.
think of monastery. I was going to say abbey.
How tall was this nun? What?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's about 2 feet tall. So I guess we can start busting the legend, but this is really just a storm drain, and there've been excavations there. Even Harry Price did investigation, it did actually some diggings, excavations, but they haven't found anything else other than this storm drain, a Willem. And so,
Yes.
but when he went back after the place burnt down, so this is about 1942, 1943. This, Blake, what do you think it is?
It looks like a side view of a dismantled wall. You can see the upper floor joists. So I'm assuming it's partially dismantled.
You
What's
are
in the
not a
what's in
good
the
ghost
middle?
hunter. You are a terrible ghost hunter. What's
What's in
right in the middle? The white thing.
Oh, the white thing. I would say something
No,
reflecting light. I don't know. What
no,
is it?
it's a levitating brick.
Sure it is. Sure it
So
is.
this is the problem with selling it brick by brick.
Yeah, they float away.
Flew away.
Mm,
Yeah. They
hmm
all ascended.
Yes.
And so yeah, this is the levitating brick, the haunted brick, as captured by Harry Price. So he continued
Wow.
doing his investigation. So he found stuff, man. He found that, and he found some bones. So he claimed that these bones, there, I mean, there's so much more to the story. There were seances that they held on site and in London. The seances were conducted by a woman, I think it was Helen Glanville, and her father was one of the chosen investigators of Harry Price. And so they did some seances and claimed that the nun was the spirit of a woman named Marie or Marie Lair, and that she was a French nun, and that she fled her convent in France so that she could marry an Englishman, a landholder there. I can't remember the name of the family, not the Worthingtons, something like that. Waldegraves, I think.
Walter Graves. Yep,
And
that's it.
yeah, and so they had a fight, and he murdered her and then buried her. So that's one theory. Another theory is that these are the remains of the nun who'd had an affair with a monk, and they were caught and were both executed. We don't know exactly what happened to the monk, but she was bricked up.
Is
She
that
was
standard
walled up,
operating procedure? If you have an affair, you get murderized.
murderized.
That's what we hear.
Yeah,
That's what
likely.
that's what the story says.
Hmm
Yeah, yeah. So, when I think of that story of her being walled up, it makes me think of Elizabeth Bathory as well. The claims of her being walled up too. So, a horrible punishment. But here we have Harry Price. Now, he approached the Borley Church, which is opposite Borley Rectory, and they said, no, we're not going to bury these remains. You're going to have to take them elsewhere. So, he found a home for them at Liston Church, which is quite nearby, and so the priest said some rites and
Oh, this is
buried
it. This
the
is that. This
bones.
is like an action shot. I see. I
Yep,
see.
yep.
Yes, yeah. So she was laid to rest, and everything ceased after that. So we had peace
So this
after
is
that
this is
this
really all
burial.
about this nun getting laid to rest.
Yeah,
To rest.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Uh, so
Well, did that create a great sense of peace once her bones were properly
yeah.
interred, as
Oh,
was the
yes,
tradition?
yes. Everything, all the phenomena ceased at that point. So here is the book, Blake, that you were talking about. So these were some
Yes.
of Price's colleagues through the SPR, and they put together this scathing book. I've read great tracts of it, and it's enormously interesting. So it tells us a very
It is
different
some
story to the
serious
folklore.
posthumous character assassination. So
Yeah, but
That's
a lot of
the best time to do it, though.
yeah. Very,
yeah, well,
especially in the
for
litigious land
legal
of England. Yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. It is very litigious there, as much as here. And so these colleagues put together, interviewed people because everyone was still, well, a lot of people were still alive. Price was gone, but the Foysters, Marianne Foyster anyway, was still around. And she's a big piece of the puzzle. She basically admitted a lot of things that were going on were a result of trickery, not only on her behalf, but also on her husband's behalf. He liked to trick people, and that she was, okay, you've jumped ahead there.
Yep.
Um,
I'm looking at the
So
clock.
oh, okay, yes, I see. Gosh, well, but she admitted that a lot of things that she'd done or they'd done were hoaxes, and that she'd been having an affair with a lodger there. She was married to she was a bigamist, married to multiple people when she was married to Lionel. And but I mean, there's a lot more to debunk, and I'm going to be revisiting this very soon. But
If you're
suffice to
bigamous and
say,
you got to get rid of, do you get trivorced?
uh, oh,
Sorry,
I guess
just
I
never
don't
really
have
thought of
much
it
time
before.
now. So we got to see Borley Church, and this is a 12th century church. It's absolutely beautiful.
This
Grounds
was
are beautiful.
actually this picture was actually on Harry Price's website. Uh, this is
Hmm.
uh, this is a postcard that and that's ghostwriting in the lower
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
the
there. But
Borley and the topiary is beautiful.
yeah, so that's a postcard that's has a little bit of age to it. Here's the picture that I took when we were there, so you
Wow.
can see the place still looks fabulous.
And
Yeah, you can't take a
it's
bad picture.
rare that you see the shrubberies sort of shaped
Grow
like a
like
Cray
that?
computer.
Yeah.
That looks so much like a Cray computer. Sorry, that is
I,
so nerdy. I may need to apologize, but yeah, that it really does look like a Cray computer. So
not to our crowd, but yeah, so that was just wonderful to be able to go there. And it really helps when you do an investigation, even if that rectory is no longer standing, to be able to go there and just see and feel and touch the place is really cool. So I think that's about it for me, but we will revisit this more because there's more to tell. Well, yeah, we
Yeah.
did meet a
Now,
local there too, had a chat with him. That was fun.
yeah. Well, this is the landscape around. It was just amazing looking.
Mhm.
Just how it would fade off into the fog, and it was just really remarkable. Now that door to the church is original. That's from 12th century, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
hard to
so
believe. I,
yeah, so
I don't
cool.
know if that's true, but I mean, it might be. But we couldn't actually get in there. It was closed at the time.
And that's
gotcha.
a grave, vampire grave.
Classic, classic. Gotta
Yeah.
Yeah,
get
yeah.
those metal bars.
Now,
Keep them stay keep them down, or to keep out
exactly.
the grave robbers. Either way.
So Blade is going to be bothering you in a moment,
Oh, he's
Karen.
bothering me right now out of the corner of
Good.
my eye. What does he want?
Yep. He wants a book that I did not grab before the show
Okay.
behind you.
Um,
So
okay.
if
All
one
right.
of you can grab it. So the old coach house. This is the area where Borley Rectory used to stand, and
Neat.
Grab it.
it's interesting because you're told all these different stories about where it stood, but I can tell
Hmm.
you, see where the grass looks just a little more brown.
Hmm.
That brown patch,
Yep.
that's where it used to stand. In
Yeah.
this aerial shot here, let me see if I can show you this. This is kind of where that brown patch
Oh,
is.
neat.
That's where it used to stand. And now this is a thing here that kind of shows that. You can see the dotted line around where
Oh
it
yeah.
was.
Look at that.
So, and it's not completely accurate drawing, but that's close enough.
Well,
Um,
we also know too that the locals used to like to put people off the scent of the place and to say, "Oh, it's here," when it was really there. And but it is difficult to trace because it's to find out exactly where it was, and they like to mislead people too. And fair enough,
oh
they're
yeah.
sick of the stories.
Sure, sure. So yeah, once again, there's that little area. We were peeking around the corner and we're like, oh wow, I wonder if that's where it used to be, where they're doing that rebuilding. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I
It's
think that's
closer than
the
that.
yeah that's another
Coach
not a
house.
rectory, but yeah, yeah.
So another place we visited was 30 East Drive, Pontefract. Now, this is where the Black Monk of Pontefract hangs out. Um,
Yep. So this is
I'm not,
West Yorkshire. So
yeah.
we're going north, more north
But
of
so
Yep.
Karen has a nun
Borley.
and you have a monk, and I don't have anything but goblins. But I feel
Yeah. It all evens
well,
out.
the thing is we're not going to go into the history that much with mine because of the fact that you guys have done already a great episode on the Black Monk of Pontefract. So
Hmm.
there's really no need to talk too much about it. We're going to talk more about when we were there.
But you got to
And
go
this,
see it, which is very, very cool. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. This is a
yeah.
picture I took out in front of the house, and it is suitably creepy. One of the really difficult things about this place, though, is the driveway is almost more narrow than the tiny car we had. I don't know how we got it in there, and I don't know how we got out of the car. Um, and
Tiny
once we got in
roads,
there,
very narrow. Yep.
oh, it was just miserable. So thank you, and you can say hi if you want. So wave, wave. There you go. Okay, now go, get out of here, go.
Hey,
Oh,
cameo,
honey.
cameo.
Hey, Blade, love you. So, um, do. So yeah, it was a really cool place. We got there and I'm like, okay, well, this doesn't look all that haunted. And then the first thing I see when we get inside is
Oh my God.
this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was the strange thing. I was emailing. We decided to meet up, or we got in contact with Bill Bungay,
mhm.
and who we'd had on the show with Richard Estep. And so he was kind enough to let
As
us
seen right
visit.
here.
Here he is, yeah,
This
lovely
is
gentleman,
this is
and
Bill.
very, very kind, generous, very smart. But I was going back and forth with him, and I didn't know he was actually in there. They just left the door open, so we just wandered in there, and so he was actually back in
Like you
Yorkshire.
do
He
at any
lives
house
in,
that's unlocked.
yeah. So the place is managed by a neighbor, Carol. She's a very interesting character, and we have spoken a bit about her on the show. We've spoken about this whole topic. But yeah, Bill was kind to let us come through, and he was visiting the area because he'd just been to France, or no, I think he was in France, and
Yes,
he
he
came
came
back
back
to
because of the
Yorkshire
funeral.
to attend a funeral. So it was under sad circumstances, but it was wonderful to be able to catch up with him and to hear his stories firsthand and Carol's stories as well. I mean, they're very interesting. I mean, Carol goes back to the time of the Pritchards, and she
Yeah.
just knows so
She's the
much.
neighbor, right? Right. She's the
She
good
Yes.
neighbor,
she
the well-informed
manages the
neighbor. Yeah.
place
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
and
well
and
informed.
she is wonderful. This is a newspaper from the time, The Curious Case of Mr. Nobody. I think we all remember Colin Wilson's Poltergeist. Fabulous book.
Classic.
Uh, yeah, and this story, The Curious Case of Mr. Nobody, about the Black Monk, was in that book, and this newspaper article here is about that. And uh, I believe that's Jean Pritchard
Yes,
holding the
yes.
book.
And Bill had this big scrapbook, didn't he, of articles and letters and people who come to visit and do investigations, and who, rather like Robert the Doll, if they take things, a lump of coal from the coal room, or if they steal something, a coin, yeah, here we go. They have bad luck,
Yep.
so they have to bring it back. So there's that
Yeah.
legend.
Just like Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
Oh, yeah,
Brady
yeah.
Bunch.
Don't take
Yep.
anything from Hawaii.
Is it
To this
Pelu? Yeah.
house, I took this rock during an investigation as I was told it gave bad luck to those who took it. It came true. Please return this. So we were shown this torn envelope. Uh,
And that
that's
you're
a
lots of letters to the house.
yeah, that's a that's a Carol's hand there holding it. And
That's my hand, thanks.
oh, okay. No, I just assumed. Sorry. You sure that's your
Yeah.
hand?
Yes,
Okay.
I could
All
tell from
right.
the nails
And I think that might be my hand.
that, yes, that
Um,
is not my hand.
yes. Now this is a coin that uh bilocated, I guess. I don't know. It just showed up.
Apported.
It
Mm.
apported and struck an investigator. And there were investigators that were pushed down the stairs, and it was all very quite a dangerous place to be. And
Well,
so
that
our
makes
son,
sense.
yeah, it does. So our son, Blade, he says, I have to go to the bathroom.
Look
And
at Blade.
she,
He looks like Dr. Evil. Look.
no, he does.
I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
trying.
and
I'm just trying to
the
please my
kids,
cat. It's like,
that didn't sound incredibly right. So anyway, uh, they're like, oh, he wants to go to the bathroom. They're like, well, there's one down there around the corner, or there's one upstairs.
wah,
If you're
wah.
brave, yeah. And I'm thinking, where people have been struck by objects and pushed downstairs, and you're sending our 10-year-old up into that. That's perfect. But here's a little bit of after
Well,
he
he
went up
was
there.
fearless. He said, I'm going upstairs.
Oh yeah, he's like, whatever, I'm going up. So I went ahead and I took some video so all of you can see what it looks like inside of this house.
Well, I just want to say
Doll.
impressive that you didn't catch yourself in the mirror there. That's like a vampire.
Well,
yeah.
it doesn't go on like that because there are mirrors and I am caught in the mirror a couple times. But
So Beatles poster, Sergeant Pepper's. There we go.
You
terrifying.
need a David Soul poster on the wall.
I know if we're going to do this accurately.
Terrifying decor. Yep.
Osmond's.
The Osmond.
Hey,
There he is.
And he walks in and he goes, "There's no soap."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh,
That
that's
was the most
scary."
scary thing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had a clock that was at the top of that stairwell that supposedly fell down, crashed down too. And I asked
And
Bill,
that was
"Is
in
this-
Most
is
Haunted,
this
I
the
think.
clock?"
yeah, but
And he
they're
said,
they're
"Oh,
running
no."
a haunted rental business basically now. It's quite it's
Oh,
not
gosh,
it's not
we-
cheap, right? Like it's pretty
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh,
we-
it's very expensive.
We were invited there as guests, so we didn't have to pay anything,
Which was
fortunately.
very
But we were
kind. Yeah,
told
yeah.
that we had a couple of hours, and then a group of 10 people were going to be turning up and spending the night. So we had to get in and get out. But yeah, lots of creepy kids' toys and covered
that
beds
that
covered
picture,
with
that picture's too much. Man.
plastic. I don't know what kinds
Oh
of
yeah,
problems they've had there.
yeah. Investigators pee in the
Elf on a
bed.
You know,
shelf.
investigator secretions are hard to clean up.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a fun time. No, but the coal room. Now, what was the story with this coal room, Karen?
Okay, well, this is where one of the owners allegedly went mad. So he would spend time in the coal room, was drawn to the coal room, and something attached to him when he was in there. So he, very much like Amityville, really, where he became an alcoholic and became depressed, and so had a demon in him, was possessed. Lots of different variations on that story, but Carol was talking about how he changed when he went
Right.
into the coal room, and he was, I think, would go in there to have a cigarette originally, and something started talking to him, and then I believe possessed him. So Matt had to try
This
it
is the
out,
color-
didn't he?
Does that make this photo sort of a colonoscopy type thing?
Sit down in the chair and
So, I had to do an experiment myself on this. It's because that's what we're there to do is
well,
investigate.
Blade goes to the haunted toilet, and Matt goes to the haunted
I
coal
go
room.
hunt room. So this is a picture of me before. Okay.
In the coal room.
This,
Okay.
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm sitting in the coal room, close the door on me, and I'm in complete darkness.
We could hear him laughing in there.
Maniacally?
He was losing his mind.
I didn't
Maniacally,
laugh.
yeah.
I wasn't laughing. But
You're
here's a
talking to
picture of me.
yourself and laughing.
Here's a picture of me after.
How can
Changed
science explain this?
Man,
Yeah, do you see
your
that?
hair looks whiter, so you were scared.
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little scary. So, but here we are. Here is us, and that's
But what
that's
happened to
Carol.
Blade? Oh my
it's
God.
He's taking the picture.
but
Nothing
but
supernatural.
they often call the ghost there Fred. And so I have a little audio here of Carol, who Blade could not understand,
He
explaining,
was looking to me for help.
explaining that it was not Fred. It was actually.
We come in once, with my team come in, and I talked to dead people, okay, so the way I can explain it. And we were going, Fred, come on, Fred. And all of a sudden they were, my name's Michael. I'm Father Michael. What? You sometimes in here, they chains and things. And
So there you go. That's
Oh,
Used to be
beautiful
Fred, but now
accent.
identifies as a Michael. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's
this
what I
ghost
said.
generation.
modern, yeah. Ah,
Exactly. So I took this little video out front of the place.
Here we are at 30 East Drive, Pontefract, Yorkshire. This is the Black Monk of Pontefract house. It's terrifying, really.
Brat.
There we go.
So, so now I want to talk just really quickly before I turn it over to Blake. I've been seeing, with a lot of UFO stuff and everything else, that there's another conspiracy theory that I need to start pushing here. And that is, one, it's all around the number 12. Now, the number 12 it's a remarkable number. There's a lot to it, and it's very mysterious. It's big in religion. You've got the 12 apostles, and yeah, there's all kinds of 12s, and I should have had notes, and I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you, a 12-based conspiracy theory has to make sense, doesn't it?
I get it. But no, you got the 12 zodiac signs. You've got 12 inches in a foot. So it's good for measurement.
12 months of the year.
12 months of the year, and it's all these different ways that 12 is important. So I'm looking at statistics for UFO sightings in Colorado, and I start to see a pattern. So the number of reported sightings, you got Colorado was 12th in the nation for the number of reported UFO sightings. Okay, first 12. The second 12th. Denver ranks 12th among the top 250 U.S. cities. It's terrifying. Now, the thing is, Amendment 64 was passed on November 6, 2012. Voters approved Amendment 64. Now, if you're wondering what Amendment 64 is, well, that is legalized recreational marijuana. Now, it is, as of today, it's been 12 years. Now, I'm not saying there's a connection between UFO sightings and the legalization of marijuana, but...
Well, I didn't see any problems with this theory at all. It all comes together.
I think it makes perfect sense.
We're not giving Blake much time.
It's okay. It's okay. We've had a good time. We've had some fun chat. So I was just going to talk briefly about the Kelly Hopkinsville goblins because we really haven't gotten to talk about it very much. In 2024, I went to CryptidCon, and on that road trip, I got a chance to stop in Kelly, Kentucky. And it was so funny because they have a little park where they had been hosting an event there to sort of commemorate the sighting of those goblins, but the actual farmland is not marked in any way. So you just kind of have to know where it is on a GPS system or Google Maps or whatever. But it looked so much like my grandfather's farm property. I could not like it would have. This is absolutely like this territory is so much like Northwest Georgia. It's almost indistinguishable. If you don't have a GPS location, you might as well be in Georgia. So that was pretty wild. But they brought back the Alien Invasion Day. So after COVID, their attempts at having... So Lucy's back there trying to get out. After COVID happened, they had been doing a Kentucky Hopkinsville like a monster festival, but it died. And this year, for the 70th anniversary, they brought it back in the form of Alien Invasion Day, which was August 21st of this year. But on a bigger scale, in Hopkinsville, which is the bigger town adjacent to Kelly. Kelly is just a bunch of small houses and churches. That's what Kelly, Kentucky
what
is.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So Hopkinsville is a much bigger town, and they did this Goblin Con, which was just a couple of weeks ago. It was in October 17th and 18th. It looked like a pretty nice event. I guess my cat is now behind my head. Okay. Hey. Okay. I was really pleased. This looked like a really great conference. I wish I'd had the wherewithal, funding, and time and everything to go. But it had Geraldine Sutton Stith, who is Elmer Lucky Sutton's daughter. So her dad was there, right, at the night that it happened. So for her, this is not just folklore or UFO lore. This is family lore, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
And she's written a couple of books, actually, I think 3. But because she was, tied into family lore, there's some details in there that are not available anywhere else, which is really cool. Tim Swartz from the Paracast was there. And then there was like the sort of generic, I don't know what you call them, like just a very representational cross section of YouTube characters, people who are investigators and social media personalities, a lot of that kind of people.
Yeah.
Cryptozoologist King Gerhardt,
Okay.
who, along with Lyle Blackburn, sort of is really doing a good job of keeping that "I'm from Texas and wear a leather cowboy hat" motif going. Ken and I, I think he's a couple years older than me. We share a birthday, October 13th. I've never really talked to him, but I feel like he'd be a fun person to talk to because obviously he's spent most of his adult life, in the cryptozoology field.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the most important guest was probably Tyler Strand, who was there because he worked on the Hellier documentary. Now, he's spent a lot of time in your neck of the woods working at Estes Park on excuse me, it's not the Overlook Hotel.
Stanley Hotel.
The Stanley Hotel, the real hotel. Sorry, I'm so pleased to have. I got to spend the night there with Kathleen. Well, a couple of nights there with Kathleen. And of course, the real treat was Kathleen was with me. But it was a really cool experience to stay there. That's a really cool hotel. You guys have talked about it a lot, like investigation wise.
Matt's been there many times and through lots of different owners and lots of experiences.
The thing that really struck with me was that they played The Shining on one channel over and over and over again.
Yes.
So like if you're staying in the hotel, you can watch The Shining.
In the
any time of day, you can watch The Shining. So that's really funny.
Milking it for all it's worth.
They are. But Tyler was there because he was involved with Hellier. And Hellier in season 1, it's had 2 seasons, but it has this narrative that involves the concept of goblins coming from below ground. These are like coming from the cave systems of Kentucky. And the idea that maybe these were something more demonic, and less alien. And that is influencing really strongly, I think, the folklore around the Kelly Hopkinsville story. And if you're interested in this stuff, I'd recommend picking up a copy of Close Encounters at Kelly. This was by Isabel Davis and Ted Bletcher. Ted just died fairly recently, but Isabel's been dead a while. But this was produced by QFOS and the Center for UFO Studies. And although Wikipedia seems to refuse to acknowledge this work because it's from QFOS, it's actually an incredibly journalistic work. I am really glad to have it in my collection. You can get it online for free, but it's worth having a corporeal version of it. And what it does is it doesn't just hop into the Kelly Hopkinsville case. It starts out with explaining how 1955 was basically the year of the small humanoids. They were everywhere. All over the world, people were spotting there were different kinds, but it was in the zeitgeist. And if you're approaching this stuff from a sociocultural perspective, that's a really important piece of data, right?
Yeah,
it's really important to know that this story is not coming out of nowhere. It's in the middle of a UFO scare. It's in the middle of this concept that little people are visiting the Earth. And understanding that has been crucial in understanding what was really going on there. And of course, I can't help but mention Joe Nickel and his work, sort of identifying the likelihood that the real animal at play here was an owl or a pair of owls. But anyway, it's kind of cool. I'm glad that the community is plugging into this this sort of monster festival zeitgeist stuff. There's a guy on YouTube called The Carpetbagger. And eventually we'll be able to put show notes into this on this live episode. I want to throw in a link to the Carpetbagger's YouTube video because he went to Goblin Con, which was this festival I'm talking about. And wow, it's pretty cool. Like as a monster fan, I mean, yes, I know we're the science show about monsters, and and we love, monsters, but we're skeptical of their real existence. By the way, I
Hmm.
love this. You're showing the Goblin Con. This was a photo opportunity shot where they had a giant banner. You could stand in front of it. Look at the different goblins back there. Those are all represented. Those are
Oh
sort of
yeah.
like sketches that were done from the original witnesses. And you can see most of them are similar, the giant ears, but one of them has a
Mm.
nose and antenna added.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the people who witnessed this had a much more vivid imagination than the others, and it's really obvious when you read the accounts.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, and that's outside the conference center. They had all these different representations of the aliens. Joe
Oh,
would have
fun.
loved this. I am so
Yeah.
sad that he passed this year. Um,
Mm.
this would have been right up his alley. He would have surely been a featured guest. He was there at, gosh, if this was the 70th anniversary. I think he must have been there at the 50th anniversary live
Oh
and got
really?
handed the key to the city and all kinds
Oh.
of cool stuff. So yeah, it was really neat. But again, a lot of people dismiss this, and I'll just say one more time because I'll never stop saying this. You can't have a hallucination like this coming out of a bottle, and you can't get so drunk that the rest of the family also sees things. That's not a real thing. People need to let that shit go. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
so
the
I believe a
common
natural
story.
explanation. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad the community's come together once again to keep these monster stories alive. At the end of the day, I don't believe monsters are real animals, but I think that I will never stop loving monsters and monster stories, and I'm
Oh,
just delighted that we're able to still be here together talking about this stuff. So
us too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is important in terms of folklore, and it's certainly history.
So before we wrap up here, and great job, Blake, on putting that all in that amount of time. That was great. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He caught up.
you have
I've been
anything
married for
planned?
25 years. You'd be surprised what I can knock out in a little bit of time. It's amazing.
I'm loving that.
Okay,
Anyway, on that
so
note,
I'm loving in the background that the Abbey Road. Is that with Sasquatch?
yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That is
That's
I,
cool.
I
love
really
it.
love this
Right up
wall.
my
This is so
alley.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more there every time I see the
Yes,
background.
yes, you
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a new one up here. It's that little Bigfoot up in the above the door.
Oh yes, I
It's
see. Yes.
Camp Cryptid Lake. It's like a combination of
Oh
Friday the
yeah,
13th
yeah.
and Bigfoot. Yeah, kind
That's
of
Oh,
fun.
awesome.
nice.
So
Awesome. So do you have Halloween plans?
I'm gonna
Like,
give candy to strangers. So like every weekend, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna do
Just
that?
not- I
don't even
and
need
go
the
trick or
van.
treat?
Just
Right.
yeah, it's just not from
Yeah.
your van. Yeah. Excellent, excellent. We are going to do the same.
Mhm.
And then the
Nice.
following day, we are going to be out at Mile High Con doing some fun stuff. And
Very cool.
Karen, we'll have a book signing.
Oh yes,
Nice.
thank you. Yep.
So
It's
this,
so
Missing
cool to
America
see a
and
corporeal
other books
copy.
too.
Yeah.
I know,
Yes,
look at
finally,
this. This is
it-
awesome.
the quality is just fantastic. Yeah, colored
That's neat.
pictures and
Yeah.
it's really cool. So if you happen to be in the area, please do swing by. We'd love to say hi. I'm always
Yeah,
happy to
absolutely.
sign books too. If anyone ever has a book that they want signed, we'll figure it out somehow.
As
Yeah.
always, thanks to all the listeners who tuned in for the live show. That is so cool.
Yes. Yes, I don't know.
It's been
Normally
great.
we interact more. It was nice to hear little bits and pieces and we need to do this more often. But thank you for joining us and happy Halloween
And if you have purchased any of Karen's books, leave a review. Leave a review.
Yeah,
That's
please. Yes.
huge,
Yes.
and-
huge.
and yeah, just any way that you could lend your support, even just liking this video, sharing it. It's all good. We appreciate
Smash
it.
that like and subscribe, I think is what the kids are saying. So
That's exactly what they're saying. But
kids, that's what they say.
kids.
6, 7,
6,
yeah, that's
7.
what they're saying.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. It was great talking to you guys, and it was great to see everyone in Monster Talk Land in the chat room. And we'll have to do this again very
Be
soon.
safe out there, kids.
You are.
Yep. Exactly.